Barrett Cohen, WLSN, now have the opportunity to talk to this afternoon around 3:25. Coach Dan Fleming. And, Coach, first and foremost, big game tonight. Thanks for taking some time to join us.
Oh, anytime you get to talk to Barrett Cohen is always a good thing.
Well, I haven't been to a game yet this year because I was trying to see if mine might be bad luck, but you guys are 1-1 out of the gate, so might have to start showing up again.
Yeah, we're looking forward to getting you back here. We had a tough game with Roger Bacon last week. We were in position to get a little lead and extend our lead, and we didn't do it, but we bounced back on Saturday night with Woodward and got a W, and hopefully learned a few things, and hopefully we'll play okay tonight.
Flem, as long as I've known you, you've pretty much kind of subscribed to the whole defensive theory that you guys are going to play. You always say they play hard and they give it their best, and we play tenacious defense. But at the end of the day, you got to make shots. And on Friday night, certainly that did not happen for your basketball team. Does that concern you? Is that something we might see more of this year, or could that just be a drop in the bucket and just consider that a bad night?
No, I think unfortunately that's kind of the way it's going to be this year. We're going to be in a lot of tight games. Our defense is going to have to keep us in games, and then we're going to have to make a shot once in a while to hopefully be able to win the game. I don't think we'll be blowing people out. We just don't have that much firepower on offense. Our kids try hard on D. They play pretty good D. They rebound the ball pretty well. But scoring is going to be an issue. We are definitely offensively challenged, and hopefully it will get better. Hopefully we will improve. But I do think at the end of the year, we're going to look back and say, if we just could have made a couple baskets here, a couple baskets there, it would have been a different year. And, we just got to try to come up with some easy shots and come up with some steals maybe where we can score in transition because just executing on the half court, this team, it just doesn't pass the ball or shoot the ball well enough to really be able to do that.
Jeff Baldy and I talked about on the air earlier today that I think, for my money and in my opinion, that you got a lot to take out of this game in a positive note. You went on the road to open up the season with a lot of young guys against a very talented Roger Bacon team who, a week prior or a few days prior, beat a very talented Winton Woods team. So you go on the road, you play Roger Bacon on the road, and you almost knock them off at their place, one of the top teams in the state. And you you shot 30-something% from the field.
Right.
That's something good to take out of.
No doubt about it. We played them a bunch in the spring and over the summer. We had some scrimmages with them and open gyms with them and things like that. And not knocking our guys, but just quite frankly, the Bacon guys are just better than our guys. They're just better, and they just hammered us throughout the course of the off season. Lo and behold, though, as the fall came around and our guys started getting better, our guys were improving and doing things, we started closing that gap. It looked like in the summer we go over to Bacon, their third game, our first game. We're looking at probably a 20-point loss somehow. And instead, we're leading into the fourth quarter and just didn't finish the game. We just didn't finish for whatever reasons. And some of it we just got to get better. Some of it's inexperience. Some of it the ball didn't bounce our way. We just have to get better. And but we've improved dramatically. I think any coach will tell you, you want your team to get better. You want your team to be improving. You want the team on the uptick. And I think our guys are moving in that direction. We have definitely gotten better since the summer. There's no doubt about it.
And Flem, how much of it, the intensity, have you noticed? Well, let me get back to something you said just a minute ago, how you said that their guys were just better. Outside of your state championship team, more often than not, a team under Dan Fleming, the other team a lot of times is going to be better than you from a skill set, with the exception of maybe your team 2 years ago, just because of the schedule you guys play. But your intensity defensively, the pressure, that evens it out more often than not, though, doesn't it?
No doubt the defense is a big factor and being tough. I think we do have tough guys. I think we have an environment in our basketball program that develops toughness. You can't survive if you're not tough on a daily basis at LaSalle basketball. It's just too much competitiveness and too much toughness that those things can overcome some talent. And obviously, you talk about the state team. The team they played in the state finals that year had 5 Division I guys, a lot of them Dayton and Michigan and places like that. And we just hammered those guys because we were tougher and we did execute better. And I'm not saying our players are terrible, but Bacon has 7 or 8 guys like we're used to having, and we only have 2 or 3 guys like we're used to having. So, the advantage was the Bacon, and, Bacon earned it. They made tough shots. They made shots when the game was on the line, and we missed it. That's what it came down to.
All right, Flem, let's focus tonight. And we got a big game Friday. We're not going to talk about that just yet because before we do that, we got Mason tonight. It's a vastly different basketball team than the one we saw last year. They've returned 2 guys, and I speak of Drew Matula. His averaged 3.5 last year, and then Connor McVeigh off the bench had a 3.4. Other than that, the rest of the team was all on JV last year. You don't tell your team that because it doesn't matter. You played Lancer basketball tonight. You should be in good shape. Is that what you tell them?
Well, we got to play. They really play hard. They play good, tough man-to-man defense. They run the flex like no other. They're not the most talented team.
Flem, explain the flex to people that might not be familiar with what that is.
Yeah, the basic thing with the flex is, generally speaking, there's a couple cuts that you make. You make a baseline cut from the corner to the opposite block, and there's a screener on the ball side block. And then you have a down screen once you make that pass, and that guy pops up, and it's just a continuity offense. It just continues with the baseline cut, then a down screen. And it really doesn't sound like it's that hard to guard. But if you run into those picks or they cut hard enough or whatever, and then obviously they pop out and shoot the ball, it can be a challenge. And this team really does shoot the ball well. Mason really shoots a lot of threes. They're good three-point shooters. So we got to really be able to defend those flex cuts, and we got to get out on the shooters, and we got to handle their toughness. They are very similar in that regard to us. Not overly talented, but just play hard. I guarantee you they practice hard. They are just tough guys out there. So it's going to be a battle out there tonight.
Coach Richards does a great job getting the most out of his guys year in and year out. Flem, good luck tonight. And hopefully we get that W tonight, and we can start talking your good friend and mine, Carl Kramer, and the Moeller Crusaders coming up on Friday night. Flem, good luck tonight.
Thanks. We'll see you tonight.
That's Dan Fleming, head basketball coach for the LaSalle Lancers. Thank him for checking in on the just a few hours before tip-off tonight. The Lancers and the Comets emanating from Bill Katie Court. Tip-off at 7:30. All the pregame coverage on WLSN beginning at 7:15. For head coach Dan Fleming, executive producer Mike Nye, I'm Barrett Cohen saying so long, everybody, and remember, Lancers roll deep.